Wanashuti watu wanaona vibaya.
We should not discuss, negotiate with the poverty mentality as if we are begging. We cannot be a beggar in the international community when we have resources. We must have leverage and even bring them to the point they can beg us. It's possible, it depends how you are approaching it.
Are you there campaigning? I shouldn't be afraid. So motuli, movitu mui, taho mate, tajale kana, so motuli, movitu mu, taho mate, tajale kana, nando shishenje, movito motuli, talakashi kende tomwena, swapo, swapo.
Samia Suluhu's gender doesn't excuse authoritarianism, no. Being the first female president is very historic. We are going to clap. But leadership must still be accountable. You cannot celebrate women in power while women are being arrested for speaking their truth. You cannot post campaign posters while citizens are vanishing. You decorate the whole country green and yellow, and your citizens are vanishing, and you still want to act unbothered. No. Please also, we cannot call that democracy if your name is the only name on the ballot. Please. And you now, the artists, you cannot say you sing for the people and then stay silent when those same people are crying for help. You see how Diamond shakes his kiuno singing for you guys, but now all of a sudden he's mute, numb. He doesn't know what is happening to you. Harmonize and the song. What is that song that we love watching the video? Amenyeshewa na mvua. Harmonize. You are busy saying huko amenyeshewa na mvua, and then you can't even call out injustices. I don't think I will love your hairstyle after this. Apana. Harmonize. Alikiba. Come on, guys. You have to realize that Tanzania's youth are watching. And Africans across the continent are also watching. This moment is not just about Suluhu becoming president again. It is about what kind of culture we are building as Africans. Are we raising a generation of entertainers who speak truth to power? Or entertainers who perform for power? By the way, performative celebrities. These performative activists. Aish, apana. Anyways, let's continue asking ourselves important questions. Are we creating a society that rewards courage or one that is going to reward silence? And the truth is, this backlash against Tanzanian celebrities is not hate, as we said. It is an awakening. These are citizens realizing that influence without integrity is very dangerous. These are fans who are reminding artists that fame is borrowed and it comes from the people. It can be given and it can be taken away. Are we together? So yes, Samia Suluhu may win this election, which I know definitely. These people, see, you just announce her as the president. So you announce her as the president, she might win. But she didn't win the people's faith. Maybe not the majority of them. And the artists who stood beside her may have gained political access, but they have definitely lost moral currency. In the end, the stage is not separate from the street, and history will not remember those who had the most followers, but it will remember those who had the courage to speak when silence was profitable. Silence is very profitable, my people. The deals people get for aligning with the right people. Silence is very profitable. When you speak, just know. You'll never get a deal, never. And you have to make peace with that. Maybe the bigger question we need to ask, not just in Tanzania, but across Africa, is this: can we really separate the art from the artist during moments of injustice? Because when an artist uses their voice to praise power while others are being silenced, that art becomes political, whether they like it or not. When a musician sings about freedom but ignores those who are jailed for asking for it, their lyrics become useless. When influencers are posting love and light, you know, we love doing that, love and light. But you're posting while citizens are mourning, they are disappeared.
I want to say that I'm extremely disappointed, especially as a person who has been #1 supporter of the president of Tanzania. And I'd want to say that all is not lost. She can still retrace her steps. Really, because her presidency is her focus not on just her, but on a lot of women. It's a test on women leadership. And so I would want to ask her to rethink and reset. That's not what we want to see. Her presidency for women goes beyond Tanzania. And even the fact that people like Martha Warifi were stopped. She made a big issue out of nothing, if you ask me. Look at Uganda. Uganda was allowed Martha to go in, and she's come out. Big deal. Nobody's talking about Uganda anymore. So I don't think, and Martha is a lawyer, for instance, and who is allowed to go to all these areas to represent people. It's legal. There's nothing illegal about that. And so I know that we have agreed not to talk about this, and I've been restraining myself. But I just want to say for President Samia Suluhu Hassan that I've been her fan #1, and I've not lost hope in her. I am still.
All right, welcome back, family. This is the Black History Now. These are the two presidents of Africa, the female presidents of Africa. We have the Namibian president, Dr. Nandi Netumbo Ndaitwah, and we are having the president of Tanzania, Madam or Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan. These are the two different female presidents of Africa. But these two people have different characters, because when you go to Namibia today, the Namibians are celebrating the leadership of this lady, Dr. Nandi Netumbo Ndaitwah. When you come to Africa, to Tanzania, the Tanzanians are complaining about the leadership of Samia Suluhu. Why this is happening? Because before Namibian president came to power, he was a minister, and he was the vice president. He served I'm sorry for that. She served the government of Namibia for the longest time. Now she came to this position as the president of Namibia when she understands the power. That's why people always celebrate. And when you take a look of what she's doing in the country of Namibia, automatically and truly she's doing great. She's doing great not only for the people of Namibia, but for the people of the entire continent of Africa. Because when you listen to the speeches of Netumbo, she always advocates about the unity, about the imperialists, fighting against the imperialists, advocating about championing about the youth empowerment, trying to push for the African presidents or leaders to create jobs for the youth. Now, she's doing good. She's doing good job. At least that's why people are coming out, shout out the name of Namibian president. Now, something different is happening. When you can remember the time of Magufuli in the country of Tanzania, this man, that man was a great man, was among the good leader and the best leaders in Africa. But because the system that was set there to monitor African politics and African governance is not there to see how African leaders are doing great. The politics of Africa is all about corruption, incompetence, and everything that is bad to the people. But you don't need to do the best thing to the people. When you be seen like you are doing great, you are delivering to the people, you are the friends to your people, then you become an enemy to the system. And once you become an enemy to the system, they will have to find any possible way to make sure that they eliminate you. And that is what happened to the leadership or the president of Tanzania, Dr. Magufuli. Now, because this lady was his deputy president, automatically she became the president. And after testing the power, she came to see how power is. Now, when it came to the point where the people were supposed to be given another chance, another opportunity to make their own decision, and now to elect the leader of their own choice, that this lady Samia never allowed or never wanted to allow such thing to happen, because she felt like if she opens the open ground to make and allow people to come and start to maybe coming to elect or for election and doing anything, she might lose the election. That's why in time of election, that period of election, what happened in the country of Tanzania was more than a genocide, because we have a number of more than 7,000 people in the young Tanzanians who were assassinated, who were unalived, some were abducted, some were arrested. Reason being, they were coming out to ask for freedom, for justice, and for transparency of the election. Now, PLO Lumumba always comes out to speak about the African leaders. And when you clearly or keenly listen to PLO Lumumba, you will come to understand how the game of Africa's politics are being played. African politics is being played totally different from how the politics is supposed to be played off. Because once these African leaders have ascended to the power, they are not ready to get out. They are not ready to step down. But they are there to make sure that they spend the rest of life in the power. That's why no matter what happens, they are ready to cause even the half of the population of the country to be lost, but for them to secure that position. We are having different cases in Africa whereby people are losing life, countries are being destroyed, and our properties are being destroyed just because there are some people who are trying to secure this position. Take a look at what is happening in the country of Uganda. Museveni has been there for the longest time. That is the longest serving president in Africa. But today he is still fighting to make sure that he secure his position as the president. People are coming out clear to say that we are tired. We are tired. We need someone different. We need a different image. We need a different leader. But what is happening? These leaders, once they are in position, they are in power, they turn away from being leaders to the politicians. They turn away from being a visionary leaders to missionary leaders. And that is what is happening today in Africa. Now, when today you look at what is happening, today people are speaking positively towards the Namibian president, Dr. Nandi Ndaitwah. But people are reacting against differently and negatively to the president of Tanzania, because this was the first woman president to become a dictator in Africa, in East Africa. And this is the person, the same woman today whom the people are calling Mama Samia Suluhu, but she don't just have that heart of being called a mama or a woman. Because when you are a woman, you cannot allow to see other women passing through hardship, losing their only sons and daughters just because of their greed to power. You cannot allow such thing to happen. Now, I'm trying to verify between these two female leaders, why someone's being praised, being hyped out, and there's someone who is being condemned, and people don't want to see or to hear her name. So there is different of power. There are some people who are fighting for power, and there are some people who are fighting for leadership. When you listen to the speeches of PLO Lumumba, you'll come to understand why he always come out to slam African leaders. Because African leaders don't have that mentality of leading, but they're just politicians who are just occupying the offices, consuming the taxpayers' money, and destroying Africa's future instead of building. The African youth are coming out each and every day to speak about unity, about independence, about freedom. But the same politicians that are supposed to be protecting them, that are supposed to be delivering and giving the best leadership, are the same leaders today who are coming out to cause violence, to cause chaos, and to cause problems in Africa. This is a time that we need to make sure that we liberate African continent. We make the best leadership, and we make sure that Africa is going to get the best leaders that it deserves. We are fighting for the unity, the great agenda that was initiated a long time ago by Kwame Nkrumah and other great leaders, and we are not going to allow these dreams just to go in vain. Their spirit must rest in peace, and they will only rest in peace when we'll be able to get or to achieve these great agendas. Let me have you in the comment section. You are doing great for tuning in every day. Keep on subscribing, sharing as we connect on the next episode.